So guys, good morning. Uh, uh, Guys, anybody have any questions regarding previous session? Can you see my screen? Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Thank you so much. So hope you people are good. So, what do you got any news regarding what questions? I just started my new point studio. And so actually we discussed about yesterday uh, error handling part. So we have one more scenario as on error handling. So we'll discuss about that. After that, we'll continue with some ramble session. We'll see, guys, because here we are talking about error handling. Mule itself will give some error handling part. Actually, you don't need to bother about that, like bad request. Some of the things Mule can handle it. So there is a API kit component is there. The API kit component will take care some of the validations, some of the error handling part. So we'll see how it will handle. So what are the validations? What are the error handling? It will come by default. We'll see that. So that's why we continue that RAML session once this error handling part done. So whatever we done, so that is nothing but our customization. But MuleSoft itself can handle some of the error handling. So we'll see that part also. So yesterday we seen so one of the scenario we seen, guys. Here one more scenario is there. I shared this code also, guys. So maybe you people gone through it, I guess. So just whatever I sent you back in XML actually. What you people need to do, just create a name. So whatever the name here, you can see here actually the flow name, whatever the flow name here. With that flow name, so please prepare that. Not record to. I mean, I sent whole XML. I guess I'm remembering. I sent whole XML. Just keep it into under app folder. So create a project. So put into under research mania. So then here one more thing I have to highlight it. So here also in this whatever we discussed about that active MQ, no? Active MQ also required a dependency, guys. So dependency in the sense, so it required a jar file. You can observe here, guys. I put it as a dependency like active MQ all 5.11 dot one jar file. So it will require, guys, for this ActiveMQ operations. So we have to keep in the lib folder. It should be in the class path actually. Okay, I forgot to tell yesterday, and I can't able to send this jar file. So that's why I'm trying to highlight it. What we need to do, just download from the Google. So search for ActiveMQ all this particular version jar file. So just download it. So create a some lib folder. How we done for database? Maybe you people already done for the database practices. So similar manner, so just download that ActiveMQ all jar file. If suppose if it is not there, so then we'll get a null pointer exception, guys. We'll get a not null pointer, class not found exception will get it actually. So that time, so it unable to talk to the ActiveMQ. So because here, if you observe in the ActiveMQ component, ActiveMQ client, it's nothing but JMS. In the JMS, we need to add the dependence. So that way, will work. I'll just open the configuration of JMS. If we expand this, edit. It will take some balance. This TMQ job file. Otherwise, it will give class not found exception, guys. So it is in class path actually. You can observe. before uh, before uh, before it is in class path, it will clearly show in the component itself, guys, where it will ask the dependency in the bottom. Let's see in the configuration where it is referring dependency. If I will do it quickly, remove from the class path. Let's see. Okay. Class path. Let's do this. I'm trying to remove the guys. Let's see whatever it will be. Remove exceptions. Just remove this. Let's see. You can see here jar file also guys under Apache ActiveMQ which we downloaded for running Pro kernel. So running that ActiveMQ. So you can see the jar file here also. So the jar file is required actually for running this. Just quickly, nice. Observe here guys, see the error. So clearly saying java.class not found exception. You can see the error. ActiveMQ factory, connection factory, class java.lang. Class not found exception. Hope you guys are clear. This is the error you will get is if you miss that particular jar file. This is the one I'm trying to show that. So if you are missing that ActiveMQ, that particular jar file, so clearly getting this error guys. I'm trying to stop this and we'll place that jar file, we'll see. Adjusting at the same time to click Control J. Delete cannot be undone. Okay. I'll just copy paste from where program files, C drive, program files, Apache ActiveMQ, and the ActiveMQ on Java. You can take from the Google or else if you configured already this ActiveMQ this queue mechanism, you can bring that one. You can paste into a relief folder. You just paste this and you just refresh it. If you clean the project, it will try to build once again, means compile once again. And just keep the class path also, Java build path, and then add jars, new exceptions, not showing the lib folder. So guys, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, Venkat.
Sorry, actually power gone. So guys, that issue get resolved. So see this. So hope you people are getting what I'm saying. So what I did actually, I just uh, so this ActiveMQ all jar file is required for that, guys. So that was I was trying to highlight it actually. So if you are missing that ActiveMQ jar file, so it will clearly saying that class not found exception, right? Based on that, you have to understand that something gone, some dependency is missing. So then I have to capture that one. You have to keep it into the class path. That is the one thing. The second thing is, suppose you did not start the ActiveMQ, right? So you are using ActiveMQ client to talk to the ActiveMQ mechanism. If suppose here in this particular situation, I did not start ActiveMQ actually today. Okay, so that's why there is another exception. I got it like a Java.net connection exception because so whatever you put that the JMS connector is there, no? So based on this configuration, it's unable to talk to your ActiveMQ mechanism. Observe this, guys. So this is nothing but a what we call. It's nothing but a runtime exception. While deploying time itself, it was throwing the error actually, clearly error. So that is nothing but a net connection exception. It's unable to talk queuing mechanism. Hope you people are get it what I'm saying. So after that, what I did, so I just it's see here how many times it's keep on trying to reconnect it. We are not writing any code, so try to reconnect this many times, boss. I didn't write any code actually. It's keep on trying to reconnect it actually, right? So 23 times reconnected. After that, I started my RabbitMQ. Just now I started RabbitMQ. You can see the time and all actually. So my ActiveMQ started at that time. So it's not giving any error. It's get redeployed properly. You can see this in deployment properly. Hope you guys are clear what I'm saying. So here what I'm trying to highlight is if ActiveMQ somebody down suddenly, so then you will get this exception actually, Java.net connection exception. Okay. So then it will keep on trying to attempt it actually. So whenever the ActiveMQ up and down, sorry, up and running properly, so that time it's trying to connect it, then it will so go ahead accordingly. It will so whatever the functional you written, so it will continue accordingly. Hope you guys are clear. So if you are facing this net connection exception, it is nothing but so whatever you are talking that ActiveMQ, right? So that ActiveMQ mechanism itself is down. That is the one thing. Another thing is if you are facing class not found exception, that dependency is missing. So that's what I try to highlight it. Maybe people are get it properly. So coming to next use case, okay. Um, so yesterday we seen that invalid format. I'm talking about only email, guys. In this particular component, validate component, you can see um, other validations also. Like say, see the drop down. So these many validations you can keep it. Is URL, is time, is member, is null, is not null, is not empty. So these many things you can validate it. Okay. Apart from that, so if you want to validate, there is a several locations we can validate it, guys. So this is one location you want to if you want to validate a uh, inside the process, inside flow, if you want to validate, you can do it. So generally what we can do is, so in the starting itself there is a raml we'll discuss in future. So in the raml itself, we'll validate it, guys, all these things, any mandatory fields, optional fields, like string or else numeric, these kind of things, minimum value, maximum value, these kind of things will validate in raml. If you want to validate inside of the flow, you can use this component, you can validate. So that's the one thing. So another one is, so if in the router is according to condition, payload type is system. If this satisfied, it will go to test database unavailable exception, guys. If it will go there, so this is a flow reference. I'll just click that F3. So it will come here, guys. This is a subflow for that. You people are aware it. I'm not repeating that one. So the subflow, in the subflow, what I'm trying to do it. So I'm trying to route up one query, insert into demo. So then we are taking some values. We are trying to insert into the DB, guys. And suppose this failed. If suppose this failed, you people are aware about this also, this dependency also. Here I'm trying to load the information, right? What I'm trying to do it for explaining purpose, intentionally I'm passing some wrong information actually. So that's why it will give the some SQL exception it will give. I'll just quickly test connection what I did wrong thing in this. So if everything is correct, you won't get any issue, guys. Text connection successful. Let me change the username and password. Something gone wrong. This is the password. Let's see. I'll change something. Hold up. User properties. Your 13306 router admin company localhost. Let's change some username. DB name changing, guys. Company one I'm passing. Then based on that, it should give some error. Connection. See here, guys, some unknown database name we are getting. Let's see. Let's try to hit the request and continue that. We'll run a debug mode, guys, because I want to stop somewhere else. Debug as mail application. Device. There is a use case too. I'll pause this. I'll share this file also, guys. I shared yesterday itself. You can check that clearly. These two use cases. So if you are facing any issue while doing ActiveMQ or configuration, please let me know, guys. Just deploy this application. I will try to hit the request. Not request. Let's post into the ActiveMQ. So I'm trying to open the ActiveMQ in the browser. Let's get started. Give me a moment, guys. My mission got stuck. I have to open the browser. So what I'm trying to do it. So I'm trying to open this ActiveMQ thing. I'm trying to post that whatever the second scenario input. I'm trying to post it. Will validate that one. So in that there is one more thing I'm trying to highlight it, guys. So there is a rollback thing. Retrieval process I'm trying to highlight it. That's okay, please. Come on. Just Chrome is blocked, that Chrome is not open. It's saying that Mozilla HTTP localhost 8164. Yes, let's start. So this is the port number, guys, 8161. And then what we need to do, so click on manage activity broker and then admin, you know that yesterday we discussed admin username and password. Click OK. If you want to remember, click remember. If you don't know, then so don't choose that. And then go to queues, guys. You can see our queues. Our queue is queue in, right? And just choose the queue in, and then we need to send as. So just keep that message. What related to second scenario. Uh, just put the debugger also. Debugger already there. So here we need to choose the queue name. What is our queue name? Queue in. Queue in. Okay, so I'm trying to post this into activity. So I got the request. You can see the message here. Step by step I'm trying to execute. This should go to submit phase. Okay, so it went to the database. Should be the database. Whether I'm getting SQL exception. So let's see. Okay, see this, guys, where it will went. Observe here. So here there is a rollback exception strategy, right? So what I'm trying to do it in the rollback exception strategy, I'm trying to hit one more time actually. So see this. Again, see here. Again, it was trying to post once again. So because of that rollback exception strategy, guys. So let's see how many times it will try to post. This is the first time it's getting error, and again rollback second time, guys. I'm trying to post second time. Okay. Now see this, two times rollback exception tried. One time I tried manually. Let's see what happened this time. Okay. Should be the proper. Observe here, guys. It's clearly saying, please update your application code to correct. You'll rename it to content type. What it is saying. So if you see here, this is a one time maximum redelivery attempts reached. So means, so here in the rollback exception strategy, if you observe here in the rollback exception strategy, it's tried. I put it as a maximum redelivery attempts two, guys. So that's why it was trying. It was trying two times actually. Right? If it is still, if it is still after that, it should come here actually. It should come here. It should post to the enqueued DQ mechanism. Let's see it's encoded or not. The data is DLQ is 0, guys. Let's refresh this. See, guys, it went to the DLQ. Hope you guys are clear, guys. In the earlier it's a 0 DLQ. What I'm trying to do is, if after two times it's get failed. After two attempts, the maximum redelivery attempts are two. Still, if it is failed, what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to post into the DLQ. Whatever we did earlier step, no? Yesterday step. So I'm trying to post that one. So hope you guys are clear. If you have any questions, you can ask, guys. So two things I highlighted here. One is the jar file and dependency. If you're not stopped that, if you not started that ActiveMQ, it will give connection exception, net connection exception, Java.net connection exception. And then here one more thing, rollback exception strategy. If you not, if you want to roll back once again, because sometimes so because of database is too much busy, and I mean active, if suppose I mean database if not take that input, So then that's why we are trying to second time actually. You can keep it almost 5 times. So until unless it will fail. So then after that we have to take the decision. We have to go ahead in the next level. I'm trying to put in the DQ mechanism. Okay. Apart from that, suppose I'll give all the success scenario. Let's see. Um, if you give all the success scenarios, then where it will come something gone wrong. Suppose all the this rollback exception strategy is not triggered, and the non-retrievable business exception not triggered. So think like this: data wave exception, that is a validation exception not triggered. So then where it will go? Apart from that, any other exception, it will go to the default exception handler, guys. So this is a default exception handler. You can see here, I'm not putting anything, guys. So whatever that, so apart from that all defined exceptions, right? So apart from that any other exception, it will come here, guys. I'm not putting anything here, that's why it will come here, right? So whatever the exception it is, then it will come here and then it will execute it, guys. So that is nothing but a default exception handler. Hope you guys are clear. So that's all about these exception handling, guys, error handling. So apart from this, system itself, your flow itself will generate some of the exceptions by using API kit component. So let's see that one. So further, so before going to that, so do you have any questions, guys, about error handling? So this is an important topic, guys. So once you
Well,
got,
sorry, Venkat.
yeah, go ahead.
Venkat, for that rollback strategy,
Okay.
you have after redelivery exhausted, you have done these things. So didn't I think you didn't explain that?
This yesterday I explained, no? This piece, this piece, same thing which I explained yesterday. We are posting into the DLP, no?
Okay,
Same
and when we have to send two, like you have sent one, okay, one data one time and second data second time. So can we send both at the same time? This type, status, and email.
you can send it. I'm
Like you
trying to
have these two example.
hang
If
hang
you send
hang
it together.
hang on. See, guys, I'm trying to explain two scenarios. I'm trying to intentionally I'm trying to pass the error scenario, then I'm trying to highlight it. If you want to pass it, you can pass it. So first one it will trigger actually. See here, if type business, it is a choice router, right? So if type business, then it will go to the business. If type system, it will go to the system. How it will go? Two at a time. I'm trying to capture this type parameter. I'm trying to do it actually. In the type, one field does not contains two things, right? You understood what I'm saying? So
Oh, yeah.
here I'm trying to validate that particular field actually. So see here, I'm trying to concentrate on the type field. If type business, go here. Type system, go here. You understood what I'm saying?
Yeah. For that,
Hmm.
if we want
Hmm.
to send two data, then we need to use for loop, right? For you, sorry.
You want to handle two exceptions at a time. That was you are talking about, right?
Means
Uh,
I'm saying if
I
we
think
send two data,
Hmm.
Venkat, what he's saying is in the queue, generally we get is a one set of data, which is one single record, which you
Hmm.
have put.
Hmm.
He's
Hmm.
just saying is if we put both of those messages which are there on
Uh-huh.
that notepad, both for
Yeah,
system
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. It will,
business.
yeah, it will execute it. No, it will execute it. Both it will go. Error. Both it will execute, but that will come as a sequential mode. No? So whatever we are trying now, so same way it will come, right? You mean to say understood? If you put it both, it will come sequential only, right? One by one only it will execute it. First one trigger, we are in a debug mode. It will stop. Once that is done, next one it will come, right?
Can we once check that if we have time?
Let me put it. So, but here what happened? We have to click two times. Send. If I paste at a time, so it will treat like a one message. You understood? If you know what I'm saying, if you give Q in send. if I keep it both at a time, it has a single message because we are sending like a single message. We should not send like this. We have to send individual message. First send this, queue in, send it. Next one is again take queue in, send it again. Why I'm saying here, so think end user perspective. So whoever subscribe this thing, they will send a individual message like this, right? So now my queue contains two. Observe here, now two messages are there, right? Two messages are there. Let's try to see. Let's try to allow. So see, this first message come first, right? So see, this test validation done first. I'll just click resume. Hope you people got it. Second message I got it. Second message I got it. What payload it is? Let's see. See, type system. You're getting. First one is type business. I got it. Now second message I got it actually. Now database. Fail the database. Go it and roll back. Again roll back. Two times down. That's all. Understood. Now refresh this. It should be 0. You guys clear? Hello.
Yes, Venkat.
Yeah. See, what I'm you guys are clear, right? So here you see, think whoever subscribe this message at a time, they will send only one message at a time, right? So they will post here. The queue is hold it actually. So queue will send one by one message at a time. So first send first serve kind of thing, right? So one message it will take, it will push it like that. It will happen. Your mule flow also, it will take sequential manner one by one. Hope you guys are clear. And then yeah, any other questions, guys? Before
Yeah,
going.
in JMS, generally, when we have a lot of messages,
Mhm.
sometimes we have the unit of order also, right? So, could you briefly explain that concept?
So that is not here actually. You can uh, you can prioritize in your queuing side actually, not here, not your JMS component. You're clear. So not in
Okay.
JMS, not in mule side actually. If you want to prioritize, so there is a prioritize happen at this side, in your active MQ side. So there is somewhere else you can keep it up. Number of repeats, and then
Priority option is
yeah,
there.
yeah, here you can keep the priority. Persistent delivery. So persistent delivery in the sense, so if you see here, whenever mule will consume, the message get immediately removed from that, right? If you want to keep the message, still you can keep it actually. That is whole configuration about your active MQ side. So these will taken care by your queuing mechanism admin, the active MQ admin guy will there. He will take care of all these things actually, whatever they are expecting. So then our mule side, what we need to do, so we have to just pull out the message or else push the message. That's all we'll do.
Okay. And can you explain that message group sequence number? You have
Where it is,
any idea on about that?
oh, not much actually. How much required for us actually? So that was I explained
Okay.
actually. But if you want to deep level, then you have to go to this active MQ document, guys.
Okay, sure, no problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
So that's fine. So that's all, guys. That is about error handling part. Apart from that, so if you want to play with RAML, next session is play with RAML, guys. So further, so can you guys please create your account? So the AnyPoint manager, you have to create an account. So AnyPoint, this is a anypoint.mulesoft.com. So this is a site. Just create an account, trial account. They will give 30 days trial version, guys. You can create it. I'll just ping you in the chat. So once you create an account, so this is the one, please sign up. So two ways you can implement this RAML, guys. So uh, one way is using, they provide the editor actually. Once you logged into the AnyPoint platform, AnyPoint platform, so they gave a facility to write a RAML actually to create an API. To create an API, if you are trying to create an API, so they will give the editor, so to write whole RAML part. So that is one way. Another way is in the MuleSoft itself, in the MuleSoft AnyPoint Studio itself, we can write the RAML. So for that, we need to add a RAML plugin. So there is a plugin called RAML Editor. You can go and search here, Windows, Help, New Softwares, New Software Install. I'm just showing install softwares, but you can check here install new software. I'm just showing the what is exactly that plugin. I'm just showing whatever installed in my machine, installation details. So we have to go there and we have to add that. I shown already how to add the plugins. Just search for the particular plugin and so click next. It will ask the restart and then restart your AnyPoint Studio. It will get effect. So if the editor is there, so then whatever you are writing, so the RAML code, so then it will give the error actually, something gone wrong. So without deploying, it will give the error. Or else if the RAML editor is not there in your AnyPoint Studio, if you're writing also, it won't give any error until unless you deploy your application. That was I'm trying to highlight it. I'll search for RAML editor. See this guys, RAML API editor. This one we need to install it. Hope you guys are clear. So the RAML API editor for writing the RAML. So this is the RAML REST API modern language. We are writing REST API modern language. So internally, which script you'll use to write this YAML? There is a YAML guys, YAML. Using YAML script or else YAML language, so to write the YAML. So these are, hope you guys are clear. Two ways you can write it. One way is log into your AnyPoint Studio, AnyPoint platform, create an account, trial account. There is a API manager under that. So go API manager and create a new API. Then try to create a new API. Then it will do the editor. Then where we'll write the YAML code actually. Suppose here I'm just showing some already existing thing. So I'm trying to show the editor. Edit API designer. You can see here, this is the editor guys, this is the editor. Here you can write it all the YAML, okay, or else you can write into here. So this is whole thing is, it's nothing but a YAML script guys, YAML script. So coming back to here also you can write same thing, but how we'll write it? So in your application there is a src main API. Src main API, one of the package in the package explorer, the project, in the project there is one package called src main API. Right click on the src main API. So then take a file with extension raml, new, and then file, the extension should be raml. Suppose I'm just keeping demo.raml. Okay, so in this raml file you can start writing the raml. So this is raml. Observe here guys, the format is like this, look like this raml. Okay, so here we can start the raml file, writing raml file. If something gone wrong, it will be the error clear. So these two ways you can write it. So before going to write this, why we need to write this raml? What was the purpose, right? When we need to write the raml? So the purpose of the writing the raml. So here, if you observe guys, whatever I wrote a few flows in the earlier sessions are, so current sessions. So we are trying to expose our APIs. Suppose here we are using a broker, client we are using, but in this case, you no need to expose this. Right? We are not exposing to any people outside actually. So whenever the message is available in the ActiveMQ, we are trying to pull it or else we are trying to push it. So that's a different thing. So if you see other examples, like if you see any week one, we did some examples, right? So each and every flow it will start with a HTTP connector. It will start with a HTTP connector. Means we are trying to expose our services. We are trying to expose our API to outside world, right? So whoever want to consume, right, based on security only, not for all the people. So based on security, will whoever our authorized clients, they will only can consume actually. So here, this is nothing but our REST API. We are trying to expose outside. The client will talk to this HTTP connector because it's a listener, HTTP listener based on address, based on URL, right? Based on that URL, client will talk to that, then he will accordingly, he will execute. I mean, this flow, particular flow will run. It will serve the information, it will share the information, right? So here, when you are trying to expose to outside, so we have to prepare a YAML URL actually, right? How it is URL preparation, then that is first thing actually. So if you see here, if you open this, HTML connector, you are preparing a URL actually. So there's a localhost 8084, and then there is a base path and path. We are giving all these things, right? This is nothing but a resource. You can say, we can call it as a resource actually. We are giving one resource to expose outside. Like that, suppose I have many resource names like I want to create an opportunity, update an opportunity, delete an opportunity. Like that, I have a many APIs. I want to expose an outside world. So first step is in the YAML, what we need to do, there is a resource name. There is a resource name. That resource name will prepare it actually. If you see here, inventory list, that is one resource actually. I will explain you guys again. So there is a resource name. You can give it as a create opportunity slash create. That is one resource. Opportunity slash delete. That is another resource, right? The resource names will prepare. That is the first thing. The second thing is somebody is trying to consume it. We have to validate something like suppose he is trying to create an opportunity, right? So he is trying to create opportunity in the sense the front end guy, the GUI guy. So they will give some kind of GUI. They will prepare it. Interface they will prepare it, right? From the GUI. So he is entering the information. So Mule will receive it. MuleSoft will receive it, and then we'll talk to the target system. Accordingly, it will execute it. It's asynchronous. It will come back. Okay, so if GUI from the GUI end user will type something, it will hit the MuleSoft. In the MuleSoft, first thing is whatever GUI developer implemented internally when end user submit the button. So based on that resource it will call, right, where it will go. Either it's a create an opportunity, either it's an update opportunity, either it's a delete opportunity. That guy should take the decision, right? So whoever implemented the GUI, right? In the bottom of the submit button, he wrote that code. He is trying to end user is trying to hit it. That will talk to that particular resource. That is one thing. Another thing is, so when the end user is trying to hit the submit button, right? So suppose here I'm trying to create an opportunity. Suppose I'm trying to talk to the Salesforce guy, SFDC guy. I'm trying to create an opportunity. So opti. So when you are trying to create an opportunity, so think like this: there is 100 fields are there. 100 fields are there, right? So out of 100 fields, see, if you give boss enter the 100 fields, if you ask to the end user, so he won't show much interest to enter all the fields, right? 100 fields, we can't expect from the end user perspective, right? He's a normal user, he don't know technical things. If you ask 100 things, think like this: suppose we are trying to sign up some any points to do. Just now I am asking to guys, please sign up any points to any point platform. So if they're asking 100 fields, so I don't want to interest to create an account actually, first of all, right? So that's why here 100 fields are there to create an opportunity. Out of 100 fields, out of 100 fields, there is some mandatory fields are there, some optional fields are there, right? So think like this: there is a 10-15 fields are mandatory. So then end user can interest to enter the 10. I'm talking about usability thing, guys, from the front end perspective. So he can happily enter 10 fields, right? He enter the 10 fields, and it will talk to the MuleSoft. So then out of 100 fields, so this guy was telling us, so MuleSoft, this SFDC guy was telling, boss, 10 fields are mandatory. So then remaining are optional. If you're not sending also, I can create an opportunity. That's what he was talking about, right? So that's why mule should mule should our as a middleware guy, it should validate the 10 fields actually. Why? Because if without the 10 fields, right, then anyway this target system guy, SFDC guy, will send back an error, boss. These are the mandatory fields. At any cost, you have to send it. So before going to him, so why don't you handle in the middleware itself? This is unnecessary transaction, right? So that's why in the MuleSoft, so in the RAML, you can validate this mandatory and optional fields thing. Hope you guys are clear. So the first thing is we have to prepare the resource name. Second thing is we can validate these type of things actually. It's a mandatory field and optional fields. That is one thing, and then these 10 fields. Some of them are integers, some of them are strings, some of them are maybe an array, maybe it is an object, right? So that one also we need to handle it actually. Suppose Salesforce guy is expecting one of the field is an array, right? So, but he is sending like string. We should not accept it actually. We should reject that one. Boss, we are expecting an array, but you are sending string. That type of validation, that's a data type validations we can do. Next one is suppose we are expecting minimum and maximum. So suppose minimum is something like minimum is 2 characters, maximum is 100 characters. Suppose end user is there is a text area. Think like this. There is a text area. In the text area, we are allowing 500 characters, but end user sending more than 500 characters, or else he is sending empty, right? So that time so we have to handle. So minimum length is this, maximum length is this. If you're not is sending any character in the text area, we'll send back, boss. This is expected. At least should minimum length is this much, and then maximum length is this much. He is sending more than 500 characters, then we send back, because we are expecting only this, or else we can cut it. We can push it only 500 characters. Hope you guys are clear. These kind of validations we can do in the RAML. That is the second thing. The third thing is, so RAML will give clear documentation, guys. Clear documentation in the sense, just now we are talking about resources. Just now we are talking about resource names, right? Resource name in the sense the URL, right? What URL end user, I mean client will consume it, right? So if you are giving a URL, right? So in the URL many things are there. I'll give some example. So this is an URL. In the URL, some port is there, some protocol is there, some host name is there, right? These are common, and then resource name is there. Apart from that, so there is some query parameter, right? There's a possibility. So query parameters, and then there is some URI parameters, right? These are all things are there. Suppose if you are sharing this, if you are giving this URL to the client, second guys, if you given to the URL to the client, so we'll ask many questions. Boss, what is this field? What is that field? What was the use of that field? He was asking many questions actually. So that's why RAML give clear documentation to the client actually. What is the each parameter functionality? What it will do? Why you are expecting these much of documentation? So we can share to the who the client guys. So that is a third advantage. Hope you guys are clear what I'm trying to say. So first one is resource will prepare it. Second one is validations we can achieve it. Third one is it will give clear documentation. It will give clear documentation there. So these many things we can achieve in the where in the RAML. Apart from that, so it will give some kind of some kind of validations also by default it will give. So that's all guys today's session. If you have any questions you can ask. I'm just giving the RAML or documentation, sample documentation guys. So meanwhile you can ask until that load, you can ask any questions if you want, if you have. So observe here guys, this is our documentation. Suppose we'll take particular thing. I'm just showing that inventory list. Okay, just expand this. It's a post request or a get request. We'll decide in the RAML only. Observe here guys, each field we clearly saying actually offset, limit, sort by, sort receive, and then all the query parameters, and then you can see the left side example also. You are giving clear example. So client should understand, whoever consuming our service, you should not talk to us actually. So boss, what is this? What was the example you are expecting? What was the format it is? So the clear document we are sharing actually. So based on this, if you're getting a 200 watt response we are getting, if it is a 400 watt response we are getting, if it is a 401 watt response we are getting, the clear documentation we are sharing based on this ramble console. I'm just comparing to the Visdal actually. If you go through the Visdal, right, Visdal will give clear picture actually what operation it is, right? I'm talking about SOAP Visdal. So it will give clear picture like what operation it is, what parameters they're expecting, what type of parameters, what type of response. So whole things we can share in the RAML console. In the RAML console also will give clear documentation, guys. Okay. So that's all today. So tomorrow we'll please create an account. So we'll start create some raml based on that, how to create the project, how to validate it. So what are the exceptions, extra exceptions we'll handle by API kit. We'll see all these things. So that's all guys. Okay.
Venkat,
Yeah, tell me.
Venkat, I have issue. I don't know the reason, but I'm not receiving any videos from past couple of days.
Reset. Actually, what I did earlier, I'm sharing that whole documentation, whole recording. But what I did, I just gave a folder access actually. So I no need to share individually. I just gave the folder access. Maybe I didn't give folder access to you, guys. Other people are getting videos, right? I just placed into that
I also did
folder.
not get,
Huh? Huh?
this is Vishwa. I also did not get that
Okay, I will give the
folder.
I will give the folder access, then you people get it automatically. Okay, no? I'll
Okay.
give it Rajiv and Vishwa. Maybe others can get it. Okay, thanks guys. We'll meet tomorrow.
Thank you.